AEW continues its exciting run with 3 terrific tag team matches, a perfect pull apart, and a maelstrom of a main event. Welcome to Wrestling Fun with Father and Son. I'm Father Matt, and this is Son,
Kai.
and this is the explosive Elite Review. AEW's Dynamite, 23rd of the 10th, 2019. Straight away started off with a tag team match, as there was 3 tag team matches, each one as good as each other. I thought this one started off with the Private Party versus the Lucha Brothers, and the winner of this would go through to the final of AEW's tag team tournament to crown the AEW's tag team champions. Honestly, I'll put this was a really good match, but I honestly put it was a little bit sloppy in places from Private Party. There was a wicked stomp to the back of Mark Quinn. This I thought was very brutal. I thought brutal. Basically, he was hunched over. You know, I can't remember. I think it was Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix jumped from the turnbuckle onto his back, and he literally folded in half. And that you could see he suffered after that. He was really slow. He was a bit sloppy. His strikes weren't really, he was missing a beat after that, and that really did look really wicked. I'm wondering if he is actually feeling that. And like I say, that really did look quite painful. Not the way the body's supposed to bend, to be fair, Kai. But this was a high-flying match that saw who win. Who's now into the? That's it. Lucha Brothers are into the final. What do you think of that?
I think it's quite good.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing as well. I kind of knew, because they had a little bit of a spat with SCU the other week. I kind of thought, sitting at this point, we're going to see an SCU Lucha Brothers final. I thought that was the way they was going, and we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, this is a really good start to AEW. Their tag team matches are really good. Yeah, I heard JR say during the week there's a little bit too much of sort of flying and flopping about, and yeah, there is a lot, and that is like modern pro wrestling now. Is all these flips and sort of through the ropes, over the ropes, spins, flips, tricks, all that sort of stuff. That is more sort of pro wrestling now than what it wasn't, say, 20 years ago. But some of it is impressive. Some of it I look at and go, oh, well, it's like the Canadian Destroyer. They're using the Canadian Destroyer a lot now than what they used to. It seems to be in every other match. It's also the standing shooting star press, where they sort of do the standing shooting star press in the ring. That's being used quite a lot. These high impact moves are being used a lot. But that being said, they're still impressive, and they still wow me at times. And I think, would a match be different without it? Yes, it would. Does a match need it? No, not really. But they are sort of wow spots, the high spots, and this one had a few. Talking about SCU, segue into the next match, another tag team match. SCU, it was Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, because Christopher Daniels is actually injured at the hands of Lucha Brothers last week, wasn't it? Against the Dark Order, which is Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. I thought, this one was going to be the sort of stinker out of the matches, but actually this was not too bad. Halfway through this match, the Inner Circle then arrived through the crowd with tickets. They're walking up into the VIP box with some popcorn and
a little bit of bubbly.
Yep, that's it, a little bit of the bubbly, yes. I will mention now that there was only 4 members, because Jake Hager actually has an MMA fight this week, I think it is, so that's probably obviously why he wasn't sort of with them. Obviously they were watching the matches for the next couple of matches, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So yeah, I thought this was a great match. In the end, it was, who won?
SCU.
SCU, yes. So like I said, Lucha Brothers versus SCU next week for the final of the tournament to crown the AEW champions. I'm wondering whether that will have a conclusion, or they're going to go to Full Gear, the next pay-per-view, which is, wonder if they're going to pull it a little bit, sort of, they're going to have like a draw finish, or something's going to happen that's going to put that on the pay-per-view. I'm wondering, but we'll have to see. Next, we had a one-on-one match, Joey Janela versus Kenny Omega. This is a return match, because they had an unsanctioned match on AEW Dark, which is their dark matches, which they have while the show's not running. Put them on their YouTube channel. It's called AEW Dark. They had an unsanctioned sort of hardcore street fight type match that has some really cool wicked spots and some ooh spots. Some spots that make you go ooh. Like when he set up like the chairs with the middle bit sort of as a bridge, and he sort of flipped him onto it hard back, Joey Janela onto the chairs. They're the sort of things you, ow, that hurts. This one again, a very impressive match. Kenny Omega, as always, is stunning in the ring. He was here, and I thought Joey Janela was quite good as well. But it was Kenny Omega who got the win with the, what's his finishing move? The one-winged angel. That's it, and he got the win. And then next we had an interview / promo with Cody Rhodes. Obviously, Cody Rhodes is going to face Chris Jericho for the AEW Championship at Full Gear. He was about to sort of get into the interview with Tony Schiavone, only for what to be ringing through the arena. What was being heard, Kai? They were loud. Horns. They were like the sort of can horns where you push a button and they make a really loud, high-pitched horn. Only to be coming from who? Who were they? Who were the people making the noise?
The Inner Circle.
Yep, the Inner Circle had loads of sort of horns, and they were trying to upset Cody and sort of throw him off his game. Only for Jericho to have a microphone, and they had a little bit of backwards and forwards. Only for then there to be a other wrestling company reference, another one, obviously referring to the WWE. Cody was saying, with the other wrestling company, there's normally an invisible barrier, but I can come out in his company and I can come up there and kick your backside. Only for Jericho to say, you won't do that, you're a coward. And plus it's 4-on-1. Only for then somebody to come out. Who come out?
Dustin.
Yep, Dustin Rhodes come out, and then somebody else come out.
MJF.
MJF come up. There was a little bit of reference about the scarf as well from Jericho, which I thought was quite funny, saying, who wears a scarf? Obviously that's a throwback to Jericho when he wore a scarf, didn't he? And then somebody else come out. DDP, making it 4-on-4. Then them four went through the crowd up to the top of the VIP box, where Jericho and the Inner Circle got into a little room with a sort of door with a window, and he was taunting them, saying, oh, we're locked ourselves in, you can't get us. Only for then Cody to grab MJF's scarf and what?
He broke the glass.
That's it, he punched the glass, got into the door. They had a brawl that spilled out into the sort of the backstage, upper sort of concession stands and all that. Security came, pulled them apart, and there was a police officer there, which I thought was quite cool. We'll spend a little bit of time on this bit because I was thoroughly impressed with this. I was really excited, and this was what I've been missing with the WWE. I thought brilliant. I thought this was a perfect pull apart. I said at the beginning with the intro, this was a perfect pull apart. In my eyes, when you think about Tyson Fury and Braun Strowman from a couple of weeks ago, where they were pulled apart, they broke apart, they got through the security, they kept getting each other, all the locker room emptied, they kept pulling them apart, hitting it just didn't work to me. This was brilliant. Because they had the security are trained, they're supposed to pull people apart in this sort of situation when you've got a fight. They pulled them apart effectively, they kept them apart, and this is how you do it. And then they had Jericho at the end with his ticket, which Jericho, if you like him or hate him, his personal opinion, I really like Jericho. Jericho was really good here, especially with the ticket, saying, well, I bought a ticket, and the facial expression that he did was brilliant, and this was just perfect to me. They couldn't have done it any better, and it really does heighten up the excitement for the match. You really want to see these two now rip each other apart in the match. They did say something about that Cody had an announcement to make, but he didn't obviously get a chance to say that, so was that a stipulation to the match? I don't really know, but like I say, I can't stress how good this really was. They really did a good job. Now, that's personal opinion. I always say that, personal opinion. One person's opinion of that will be it was brilliant, which is my opinion. Other people will say, well, that was rubbish, that wasn't great, that was pathetic, that was and that's everyone's individual opinion. I thought it was really good. What did you think, Kai? What did you think of that pull apart? What's your honest opinion? Do you think it was good? Yeah, it was good, great. No, it was rubbish. What do you think?
I think it was great.
You thought it was great as well, yeah. I thought it had enough drama in it to keep it. It didn't look OTT. It actually looked like a proper brawl, and I can't say any more good things about that. That really was good in my mind. Then we had the third and final tag team match, again keeping the pace of really good matches. Best Friends with Orange Cassidy versus Young Bucks. Orange Cassidy, I don't know what to make of him at the minute. I haven't seen him wrestle. I've seen people not like his gimmick. I've seen people love his gimmick. I don't really know. I'm on the fence. I don't really know. I need to see a bit more of him. But he got into the ring as the Young Bucks were doing their entrance. They were doing their sort of arms to the side pose. He was in the middle. They were sort of looking at him as if to say, what do you think you're doing? He then did the sort of hands in the pocket sort of little light kicks to their shin, to both of them, only for them to super kick him in the face, and he rolled out and they had the match. Yeah, again, this was a nice high flying match with the Young Bucks doing what they do, which is entertain, and they really did entertain. They got the win in the end, which, you know, I didn't think that they would lose, only for them to grab a mic and tell Ortiz and Santana that they accepted their match at Full Gear, so then they're going to have a match, which I think will be quite an interesting match. It'll be quite good, I think, as well, to see them 4 people go for it. And then we had a women's match, Jamie Hayter versus Britt Baker, obviously hometown Britt Baker. Again, I think the women's division is missing something. This was an okay match. I just think they're missing something. I think it's got room to grow, and I think it will grow, and I think it's going to be good in the end. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, the more exposure they get, the more wrestling they do, the better they'll get, and I think they're going to get very good in AEW if they just keep the consistency going and keep these matches coming. I think that they're going to get. I think, I'm not saying that they need somebody, but I don't know, a big name from WWE might elevate it a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with the ongoing story that is AEW's women's division. It was Britt Baker who got the win by submission, not surprising, hometown. Backstage, Jamie Hayter was going to have an interview, only to be attacked by Brandy Rhodes, so obviously there's going to be a match there at some point down the line. And then we get to the main event, which was Moxley versus Pac. Moxley came out, Pac jumped in from the get-go straight before the match with a chair. They had a little bit of a brawl before the match. He tried to choke him with his jacket. Pac tried to choke Moxley with his jacket. They got the match officially started, and again, I said a maelstrom of a main event, and I stand by that. It was a really good main event, a bit chaotic at times as Moxley and Pac sort of delivered. There was a little bit of anticipation towards the end because the time limit was running out, only for the ending to be a what was it?
A draw.
Yep, it was a time limit draw. Again, that to do time limits in AEW, they've done it to good effect here. This is a really good effect. Had a draw, now they can have a return match where there's a longer time limit or no time limit or a stipulation or something like that. This is how you set it up. This is just perfect, to be honest. This was how you do it. Moxley took exception to the fact that it was a time limit draw. He then paradigm shift the referee and sort of saying that the time limit was all basically rubbish to him. And I think they're going to have a match again later on. Obviously he's got a match against Kenny Omega at Full Gear. AEW's Dynamite, Wednesday night Dynamite. It was Dynamite to me. I thought this was another good show. Again, brilliant. I thought it was really good. We're now 4 weeks into AEW now with their programs, 4 shows. I think, they may have gone a little bit like that with the shows, a bit of a squiggly line, but I do believe that it is a squiggly line that's consistent. I think AEW has put in consistent shows. This was another one. That pull apart, for me, best thing in the show. I honestly believe that. I think that's the thing that's going to get people talking, is that pull apart. And we'll have to see what happens next week. With that, we're getting, like I say, getting closer and closer to the pay-per-view. We'll have to wait and see. Again, I've now got to the point with AEW where I'm anticipating the next show. I want to see the next show. I want it to be Wednesday or Thursday as I watch it. I want it to be Thursday to watch the show because I'm really excited about it. And again, this is no different. I'm wanting to see the next show now. I want to know what happens between Jericho and Cody after that pull apart. So we'll have to see, won't we? So yeah, if you like this video and share the views, or you don't show the opinions or whatever, then let us know. Let's say, like, comment and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video, which will be the W SmackDown review on Saturday. So yes, we'll leave it there, won't we, Kai? What did you think of AEW? Quickly, we'll just go through what you thought of AEW this week. We'll get your opinion, someone else's opinion. What did you like about AEW this week, or what didn't you like about AEW?
I liked the brawl part.
You liked the brawl as well, yep. Is there anything you didn't like about the show?
That was that there was a draw.
There was a draw finish to the Moxley match, yeah. But I think we'll get an ending to that match eventually. I think they'll do another match. But yeah, so anyway, I'll think I'll say goodbye, and say goodbye, Kai.
Goodbye.
Bye.